Hi guys, this is Jana here. Welcome back. Following the trend of last week, we're going to make another Japanese dish, and it's very traditional. It's the kind of Japanese dish that Japanese eat in Japan. It's not this what we know here in the Western. The name is called the Sukiyaki, and it's a soupy kind of hot pot, and it's very easy to make. They usually make it on the table and eat it on the table, so it's very fun. If you want to invite some friends over, that is a very nice thing to do. So we start by making the sauce. The sauce is very easy and very simple. I'm gonna move my station here, and then we're gonna start with that, and then I'll show you how it's made. All right, in a saucepan you add sake and mirin. My mirin, it's aged, but yours don't need to be aged. It's because what I had here, so. And soy sauce. And sugar. The recipe calls for more sugar than I'm adding, but because we're going to stir fry the meatless meat in the raw sugar, so I'm going to add a little bit less so it doesn't get too much. That's my taste. If you want to add what the recipe calls, that's up to you. I'm going to write both ways down in the description box below, so feel free to do whatever you want. Turn the heat up in order to dissolve the sugar, but I don't want it to boil. When you see that it's going to boil, when it's bubbling up, you turn it off. Right, now that the sauce is already done, we're going to finely slice whatever kind of mock meat you have, either seitan or garden or anything you have, or mushrooms. It is very, very tasty with either oyster, mushrooms, whatever kind of mushrooms you want. So you just do whatever you would do with the mock meat, you make it with the mushrooms. So here I have the meat. This is like a filet chickenless chicken, if you can call it this way, and I'm going to very finely slice it. Your knife has to be really sharp in order to do this job. The sharper your knife is, the easier it is to get the job done. Okay, now we're going to saute it in a little bit of oil. I like to use peanut oil. If I'm not mistaken, the recipe calls for sesame oil. Add your meat. The original recipe calls for cast iron pan and kind of a shallow, because it makes sense so you can see everything, because it's a very pretty dish. But because I didn't have one that in the proper size to make it for you guys, I decided to take these clay pot, which is you can also use. The important thing here is to use a heavy duty kind of pot, because it evenly distributes the rays, the heat, and it makes the food taste so much better. Now you add the sugar, then a splash of the dashi. Remember we made dashi last week? Click on the card there. Now you remove the meatless meat. Now we're going to cut all our vegetables. I'm going to show you how to properly cut it, because the slices, they have to be really thin, because in this dish it doesn't have too much cooking time. So if you slice it, you have to be very precise and slice it very thin, so it helps with the cooking time. to start by adding the ingredients. Some people like to add the noodles last, right before serving, because then it doesn't overcook. But my noodles here, they're like almost not cooked completely, because I wanted to absorb all these brine here, all these broth. Now we add the mushrooms. Now you just leave it cooking for about 6-7 minutes in a very gentle heat. The important thing here is to cook the mushrooms and the carrots, especially the mushrooms and the carrots. And this is it. But it's nice if you can make it on the table, gathering with your friends, and put this in the middle, and then you cook it with them. It's really cool. They really love it. It's really impressive, you know. It's a little bit debatable, the origins of the sukiyaki. Suki means spade, and yaki means to grill. The first hypothesis, it's that the samurais, they used to cook everything using their sword. So they used to roast everything in the fire with their sword. So maybe that's one of the explanations for this dish. And the other one, which I think is the most plausible one, is that in the around 1860s, Japan opened their ports for foreign countries, and they started bringing meat, and because before Japan was mainly Buddhist, and they never ever ate meat because it was against their religion. They only ate meat in a festive dates, like the end of the year drinking party and this kind of things. But apart from that, they never had meat. So then they thought that it was like a very good idea to make all the Japanese ingredients and the Japanese greens mixed with beef. So I think this is the most plausible explanation. Now we let it cook. Alright, our sukiyaki is ready. And I would like to take a moment here to talk about the giveaway. Of course, the giveaway. You know the rules. You need to like, be subscribed, and make a comment on the last 4 videos. And the winner is going to be announced next week. It's held only for America, but if you have an address in America, if you're outside the United States and you have an address there, and if you want it to be delivered to you, it's no problem. So don't forget, you must like, be subscribed, and make a comment on the last 4 videos so you can win this amazing Japanese weapon. How about that? Cool, isn't it? Alright, now the best part of this video, I am going to enjoy it. It's so hot because the clay pot, it takes a long time to be really hot, and it takes a long time to cool down. So I'm going to try just a little bit for you guys here on camera, and afterwards I'm going to devour it. Oh my god. It's homey, it's comforting, it's sweet. It's a little bit salty because of the soy sauce. It's just like heaven. My son adores this dish. He used to have that a lot in Japan. He loves it. So Bernardo, my darling, this dish is for you. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget all the drill that I keep telling you. Like, share, subscribe, pass it on, share it with your friends if you like it. And I see you next time. Have a great week. Be kind to each other. Bye bye.